Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and I'm here for my weekly update. It's Tuesday, March 19th. I was not able to film yesterday like I usually do because I was working on a Etsy piece, a commissioned stitching. I had finished it Sunday night, so then yesterday I was framing it and shipping it and all of that. So it took most of the day to sort through the details for that. Didn't have time for a video, so here I am now. Because of my commissioned stitching the past week, I didn't have as much personal time as I usually do on certain days, but there was still like maybe an hour most evenings, not every evening, but so I do have some progress to show. But first I got some stitchy kindness in the mail. My new friend Jacqueline who I met recently at the stitching meetup in Brea. She has been commenting on my videos for a while, so we've been interacting. She also enjoys the Denver Broncos, so she likes my the piece I'm stitching for my son that's got John Elway on it, or my version of John Elway. And she, after meeting, she told me that she had a few lavender and lace patterns that she wasn't going to use and thought she could send them my way, and if I could either keep them or give them away. And so I got those in the mail this past week. She had 3 of them that she sent me. One is Nantucket Rose, which I have already, so this one is going to go into a giveaway at some point. And she also sent me Peace Angel, which is very pretty but not really my style, so I will also put this in a giveaway. And then she sent Queen Anne's Lace, which is pretty, and I think I will probably stitch this one. I don't know that I'll do the background. I might not do that because it's a lot of full coverage green confetti, it looks like, and I'm not feeling that. So I may just find something, maybe that dark green fabric, maybe I've got some extras of that to do her on that. And I know Andrea of I Heart Cross Stitch, she is working on this, and it's very sparkly because all of this detail in the dress is gold metallic, so that will be pretty. So I will work on that one. She also sent me some Victorian Motto floss, which is really pretty. This one is Garden Gate and Enchanted Garden, which are both gardeny colors, but those are really pretty, and they actually have some, it's harder to see on here. There you can see on this side with the peach one. There's a little bit of orangey peach in there, and then so a decent amount of variegation in these. So those are pretty, and they're colors that I didn't already have because I was in the Floss Club for a few months, maybe 9 months or something. So those are really pretty. So again, thank you, Jacqueline. And my kitty is thinking of coming to visit us again. All of you seem to enjoy her, so that's good. She likes to come be with me while I film, and you guys don't seem to mind. So when I last spoke on Monday of last week, I was actually, oh, just kidding, one more thing. I mentioned last time, or 2 times ago, that maybe just last time. Hi, are you okay? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Her claw got stuck. Okay, last time I showed you these lavender and lace seasonal ladies that I was going to make a collage of, and I had a couple different options that I was thinking about. I went back to the drawing board, well, not completely, but I worked on it some more this past week and came up with this. This is how far I got, which is actually a perfect square, which I really like the symmetry of it because it's 4 seasons, and each quadrant, you know, is exact same size, and it will have each lady and their season written out: winter, spring, summer, fall, facing each other. It's got one of the tiny medallions in the middle, and then some of the big ones on the sides. This would be about 13.5 square, 13.5 inches, which is a little bit bigger than the standard frame. You can get frames that are 8 by 8, I think is what this one is, that are square. And then 12 by 12 is another common square size because that's the size of a scrapbook paper. But 13 and a half, like a 14, 15-inch square frame is not that common. So, I don't know. I still really like this, but I'm somewhat tempted to cut off the big medallions and the labels and just stick with the middle section with the ladies and these little ones. So, I haven't decided yet because I think the whole thing like this would be really pretty, but if I shrink it and take off the outside edge, then it might fit in a standard frame, which is actually rather appealing. So we'll have to wait and see when I get time to play with that again, once the ladies get charted, how it looks all together, because it looks pretty bare without them in there, but once they're in there it might look fine to have just the ladies. So we'll see. So what I actually accomplished in stitching this week, last time I showed you I was working on Quick Stitch Iris for one day for my aunt. When this is finished, she will get it. She loves irises. So this is what this looked like last time. And here's where I got. I had hoped to finish this column because it did have a lot of blocks of stitching, but I think I didn't get a whole lot of time on this day to work, which is typical on a Monday. So I'm still happy with how far I got. This is 25 count 1/1 and got a good chunk of the rest of the column finished. I hopefully finish that next week or next month when this comes out again. It's very interesting to me how some people can make so much progress on their full coverage pieces in just a few days. But I need to always remember that, like, I know I'm somewhat of a fast stitcher, or I have been told that, but I don't have the same amount of time that other people have. So I still need to rein in my expectations that I can't get several hundred stitches in one day on most days. And that's okay. I'm chipping away at it little bit by little bit. Then I went to work on my Adventure Awaits by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, which was a mystery stitch along last year, and I was working on this in the car throughout the week, as well as giving it 3 days in the middle of the week, and I ended up finishing it on Friday, which was an extra fourth day, but Friday afternoon in the car, I knew how much I had left, and I couldn't let that go until probably Monday would have been my next time to be able to work on it in the valet line, and I'm like, no, I just need to finish it. So I didn't have a lot of extra personal stitching time that day on Friday because of my Etsy stitching, so I ended up just finishing this, and I didn't get to Furry Animals, which was my next rotation, so that one got a day short, but that's okay. I got to finish, so it's good. So this is what Adventure Awaits looked like before. And here it is now. All finished. I worked on North America, and I got all the igloos and the Statue of Liberty and the maple leaf, this Golden Gate Bridge probably, a taxi, like an Aztec temple, another cactus, a whale, and this thing, not sure what this is. If you know what this is, let me know. Like, I know there's a Space Needle in Seattle, but that's kind of right, this is right in the middle, so I don't know if this is a Canadian or Midwest feature, like a Chicago area, I don't know. So if somebody knows what this is, that would be interesting to know. And this is the little polar bear that Rita Marie charted to match the little penguin that I charted earlier. So each of the poles has a cute little animal in it. And that's a wrap. So this goes on the pile, the ever-increasing pile of finished items that are not fully finished, which is very unusual for me. Usually I fully finish things immediately. But because of how busy I am and all the stitching goals that I have set for myself because of Flosstube, I haven't been finishing things that well lately. So I'm thinking this one might become a pillow. So we'll have to wait and see about that. Hopefully one of these days I'll just get a bug to finish stuff and you'll see a whole bunch of fully finished objects. Framing the piece for my customer, which is something I do not normally do, made me excited again about finding frames for Snow Queen and the Storybook Classics Frosted Pumpkin piece, because those two will be framed, and so I need to just measure them and have it in my list and then make it to the store at some point. The problem with going to find a frame for me, I like to run my errands immediately after I drop off the kids from school, which is just before 8 o'clock. And a lot of those stores, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, they don't open until 9, sometimes 10. I think most of them open at 9. And so I'm already home and settling in and doing stuff, and then I have to go back out to go to those stores. So it's like an extra annoyance, an extra step to try to go do that. So that's why it's hard to make the time to go get frames. So, but I will one of these days, and make a little pillow out of the skater's needlepoint, and then probably a pillow out of this map that I'll let my kids have in their room. So it's kind of what I'm thinking, and we shall see when that happens. No promises. Okay, the next thing I worked on starting Saturday was Furry Animals freebie by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is my focus piece for Heaven and Earth Designs because it is so close. And it's funny, I show it and it looks so close to being finished, and it is. I mean, the main critters in it are practically finished. I think the bunnies are almost 100% finished. I've got a little bit on the mama's ear, but there's still quite a few colors left. So even though it looks so close, it's still annoyingly far from a finish. But this is what it looked like last time. And here it is now. Probably not a whole lot of change. I've been going down the column and picking colors and then color completing with them. So this first column is 100% finished. And I also have, I think, a block in here and a block or two in here that are all done that didn't used to be. So there's starting to be some flowers down here. That's like the main noticeable difference. A little bit on the top of this mushroom in here, I think, was finished. A little bit of bits went in up here. But yeah, there's still more stitching in her ear. There's like random dots here and there. And then a lot of this up here needs to get done, and more down here. So there's still a ways to go. But this one we'll see today and tomorrow. I'll still have time to put in some effort on this. Not as much time as I would have liked to focus on this, but a little bit. So we'll see how much more progress will be made in the next couple days. I've also been working on a new travel piece, Hoot by Bent Creek. I was actually able to work on this some previously, or before Adventure Awaits was finished. I told you last time I worked on it a little bit in the orthodontist office, and then this past week I went to a junior high student orientation because my son was sick, recovering from the flu, but he was too weak to go to school for the whole day. But it was a big deal, this junior high orientation, and so I really wanted him to go. He really wanted to go, so I took him myself instead of sending him to school and going with his class. So I ended up sitting in the back of the auditorium during this junior high orientation, and I got this out. Was all excited to get started on it, and then they turned all the house lights down, and it was dark. I was like, no, I can't stitch now. And so I kept looking at it, and it was seriously like, where is my needle coming up? I can't even see my needle. Like, it was really terrible. And then eventually my eyes adjusted a little bit, and I was able to stitch slowly and get a little bit more done. And then once Adventure Awaits got finished, I worked on this some more in I think it was only like a couple stitches on Sunday and then in the valet line yesterday. So this is what it looked like before. And here it is now. So a lot more letters. And A will also be in this color. This is Mossy, I believe. Probably Classic Color Works, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Classic Color Works. This is one of the ones that I think Debbie Duarte gave me that she was not going to use. And then this fabric is 28 count something even weave that I got from the SoCal Stitchers Retreat goodie bag. So Heather, the confetti stitcher, picked out the fabrics, and so this is the one I ended up coming home with. It's a little greener than it's showing it. It's kind of a tan green, but I thought that'd be a pretty like woodsy color for the owls. So what I'm going to do next, instead of doing the A and then cutting it off and waiting, because the word hoot goes right here, and the J and the E are in a different color as well, and the N also, I think. So I could do the A in this color and then count down under here or just put it away, but I think for now I'm going to go up and work on the leaf right here so that I can start working on the owls and work on the top bit before coming back down and finishing that, because I do like to work top down. The center was K, so that's why I started with the K, and then I've just been kind of moseying through these letters going up. And so now I'll do the leaf next, probably today in the valet line, and then start in on the owls. So that's what you will see coming. I'll have this as my travel piece at least for this month, and hopefully I'll make good progress. Travel stitching is actually pretty nice as far as seeing progress, at least since I have so much time in the car this year, in between two pickups. And I will probably give it 3 days in April of regular stitching time as well to make sure it gets done and framed before May when I need to gift it. So the story behind that, which I haven't mentioned in a while, this is for my daughter's kindergarten teacher, but I liked it especially because it's got the alphabet, and kindergarten focuses on, you know, learning your alphabet and your sounds and learning how to read and stuff. But we're also, our mascot is the owls. So it worked out pretty nicely to combine the owls and the alphabet for a kindergarten teacher at a school who's got a mascot of owls. So that worked out nicely. I've also been working on my temperature pieces. These have also gone thrown under the bus a couple times because of my other obligations, especially the temperature quilt, so I'm behind on that, but I've worked on it off and on. I'm not terribly far behind, but more behind than I would like to be, so it is what it is, and I work on it when I can. But this is what that looks like. Temperature quilt by me. You can find it in my Etsy shop, Stitchin Mommy. And here is what that looked like before, and here it is now. So I did do a little bit more of the sashing, and then I have a few more blocks here that are finished. So I think I should be down here somewhere by now, but I'm a little behind on that. And we're finally getting back into a little bit warmer weather the past couple days, so we may even break. This is so far the warmest color. Was in the high 70s back in January, and it has not been that warm since then. It's been so cold for Southern California. In March, the year that I did this was 2017. Like, there was already a whole bunch of yellow, which is 80s, in March, and we're still here in the blues and purples. So, but right around here should be some more warmer colors starting. We're going to get more rain the rest of this week, so it'll probably cool off again, but maybe at least some greens right here. So that'll be fun. And I saw somebody else's temperature balloons on Instagram recently, and they were so excited to see a new color come out on theirs too. So spring is in the air. Sometimes some people are starting to see it. And my balloons is a little bit more cut up, but not completely. This is what that one looks like. Same concept, to do a color every day based on your temperature. And this is what that looked like before. And here it is now. So getting the second layer of that big balloon worked on. Still blues and purples. Here's that warm patch in January. So hopefully we'll get some, like maybe here and here will be some warm patches on this one too. So, and hopefully eventually, you know, more consistently warm. It's been a little bit strange going out in short sleeves without a jacket because it's been so long. Usually that's the norm around here, but it has been a long time of wearing a jacket or a coat. So it's been like, wow, I don't need this anymore. Okay. So that's been nice. Let's see. Put this stuff away. All right. So on to my plans for this coming week. I'll work on Furry Animals for 2 more days. And then I will work on Stargazer again for a possibly 5-day rotation. In the middle there, I'm going to do Dragon Ride on one day. And so if potentially if Dragon Ride doesn't get to a good stopping point, I might add another day to it and do 2 days on Dragon Ride and only 4 on Stargazer. So that last day, it might depend on which project needs to get to a good stopping point, what I do with that last day. But for now, I'm going to work on Stargazer. This is by Mirabilia, and a lot of people are working on it and enjoying everybody's progress. Some people are doing it called for colors, some people are doing conversions. I'm doing a conversion. Mine is on homemade navy fabric. And this is, let's see, there's my needle. Okay, my needle popped out. All right, I gotta fold this or else it's not gonna show properly. So this is where I'm at now, and there's my kitty. So this is where I'm at now, and I've been beading. I still have some navy thread on my needle to keep beading, so I'll probably do more beading. And it would be really fun to finish beading this, the sky, all the stars, this time around. And so there's even a little bit of stitching in the top corner up here. So I'll hopefully work up and do that and do the rest of this beading before working my way down. And finishing her jacket, I guess, would be the next thing. If I finish the beads, then I would go down and work on her jacket some more. Because her hair, face, and hair ribbons are all done. So I'll work on beads, and if I can get all the beads and stars finished, I'll work on her jacket some more. So there's Stargazer, my conversion, and I have added a few conversions to my blog a couple weeks ago. So Stargazer's conversion is up there, and you can find the blog address in the description box. And I also have Nantucket Rose's Anne of Green Gables hair conversion on there, as well as a couple other little designs that I did some color changes on. So people have been asking about those, so those are up there if you want to know the colors. Gotta roll this up. I don't know if I showed this last time. When I was at the Stitchin meetup in Brea, I worked on these. There's a few beads in her jacket right at her neckline, and so I did those as well. Which is fun. I think they think my conversion of the beads worked out really nicely. So I don't know if you could see in the other one because the color is so funny, but I like how there's these different colors. There's gold and blue and green and silver. It's not just one color of beads for all those stars. They're all different colors. So it's very colorful, and you don't really get the feel of that in the model, in the stitch. if you know what I mean. Like when you're looking at this, you don't get, it's a little bit colorful, but you don't quite get the same idea of how the beads are going to look. So probably because they did it on brown fabric, which is a little bit odd, in my opinion. And then Sunday is the 24th, so I'll be working on Dragon Ride. Again, for my son, this is by Teresa Wentzler. And a lot of you really enjoy this piece and see me work on it every month when I pull it out for a day. So this is where I'm at on that. On 28 count, light blue even weave. Getting a little bit of a sunspot here. So this is, I finished this main color last time. And so my son wanted me to work more in his head next. So that's where I'll be focusing on Sunday. I'll see how much of his head and neck I can get done. And Sunday is going to be a busy day. There's a lot of extra activities this week. So we'll see. I may need that Monday to work on it some more to get more significant progress done. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But that is my plan. I think that's everything. So, in the meantime, enjoy your stitching and enjoy the start of spring, hopefully where you are, or the start of fall if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. And going into both of those seasons is a really enjoyable prospect for everybody, I think, because you're coming off of the extreme. So we're coming off of the extreme of winter, and the Australians are coming off of the extreme of summer. So it's kind of an ease back into a little bit more temperate weather. So everybody's happy. So I will be working on some Etsy custom order again, but this time it'll be designing this week and possibly for another month or so. But hopefully it won't detract from my stitching that much because it's on my computer. So the time that I'll be able to work on that will be slightly different. And because I can stitch when my kids are around doing homework and eating questions, and I can be stitching during that time sometimes. And being in there and designing can't always happen when lots of people are around, because then I get distracted or I just can't focus or they keep interrupting me or whatever. If you're a mom, you know that. So hopefully I'll still be able to do a good amount of personal stitching this week and get caught up on my temperature patterns and enjoy some of these lovely projects. I will talk to you later and have a wonderful week. Happy stitching. Bye.